Okay, there we go. Looks like we're up and running. Sure, that's muted. Alright, so we're back to it. Back at it again at the Pokemon Picker. So, right. Last time, we did 3 gens, 1, 2, and 9. I did 9 because I don't know that game super well, so a lot of these, I don't know if I'm the most confident in terms of choice, but it looks like a good selection. Good set of guys. I also don't know if I want to do a lot of these before we're done with the other ones. They seem kind of like their final choices. You know, just the once we're done with everything else categories. But yeah, we'll get right into this since I'm only doing this for half an hour today, thereabouts. So, right. Starting at Gen 3. Who do we got for normal types? Well, You know, I always forget your part normal type, because that doesn't last. Honestly, I'm kind of between Skitty and Delcatty. Delcatty is one of the rare points where I actually kind of like the evolved form just as much as the initial form. Usually the earlier forms are the cuter ones. Though that's not the case for poor Azurill here. God, he looks so depressed. Azurill is terrified of existing. Alright, I love Kecleon's little jig he's doing. Alright, well, I'm gonna say Delcatty. Just as an excuse to get a, evolved type on here, because that's... yeah, that's actually a little rare. I've got a couple here and there, but... yeah, it's out of the Eevees. I don't think I oft choose the evolved form. Alright, actually, let's choose starter first? The problem is if I choose Torchic as my favorite starter, which it might be, then what would I choose for fire? Because, yeah, there's not a lot. We got Cast Form. Cast Form's neat, but I don't know if I'd ever say it's my favorites. Numel in its evolution, then Torkoal. You know what? I'm gonna choose you. And then I'm gonna go to starter and say... Mudkip. Because to be fair, Mudkip is very good. Maybe a little annoying on account of the memes, but those are long gone. We don't have to concern ourselves with those anymore. So, we can just feel normal about Mudkip, and also, it's a water-ground Pokemon when fully evolved, which, yeah, that's pretty good. I said it before, let's see. Yeah, over here with Wooper. Water ground's real good. Also, I distinctly remember, playing when I was younger, and absolutely getting demolished by Marsh Stomp, because I didn't have a grass type. And because I was bad at Pokemon, I didn't have any Pokemon with a grass type move. So yeah, Marsh Stomp will kind of just obliterate you if you're not prepared. So, you know, be prepared. Right, there's a ton of water Pokemon in this one, and oh, this is actually contentious. I might be able to get Spheal into Ice. I feel like I want Spheal somewhere on here. Maybe it's just the appreciation for Spheal posting, but Spheal is very good. In a manner similar to Seal, Spheal is pretty solid. He's just a round little dude. But that being said, I also really like Barboach. Because that's also water ground. There's a lot of water ground gens 2 and 3. And I did actually use Barboach in my recent... Did a Mega Ruby? Yeah, Mega Ruby. Yeah, I used Barboach in my Omega Ruby run, and Wish Cache is pretty solid. I do like Wish Cache, and you know what? I actually like Wish Cache's design more than Barboach's, so you know what? Yeah, you get in there, you funky little guy. Alright, Grass type... Oh, that's right, because you're Gen 2. Blossom's Gen 2. I was like, isn't Blossom in here? Nope, nope, nope. Got that in evolution in the second game, not the third. Actually, this feels like a bit of a harsh change, because I set it in stone last time. I do kind of like Blossom, but I'm going to keep Chikorita, because we're past Gen 2, I put my vote in. Technically, I can change any time, but no, I'm gonna keep it as it is, because Chikorita's very good. Good design. Do also like Blossom, but I think we'll keep it as is. As for this one, though, I feel like it's definitely gotta be Roselia. I think Roselia's design is pretty good, and also I appreciate the fact that she is, like, microscopic. It's a tiny, tiny Pokemon. I don't know why, I just find that kind of neat. Electro... Oh, wow, what? What a good 4 choices. I completely forgot that Gen 3 adds 1 electric line and then 1 pair of gimmick Pokemon that exist to be good in double battles. Except, I don't know, I don't think it's a hot take to say that all the stuff specific to double battles isn't really that fun. Like, I don't know, maybe somebody has rated specific double battle Pokemon, but I feel like it's more fun to just raise your Pokemon normally, and then kind of figure out synergy when you get to them. But yeah, all that is to say, I've never used Plusle or Minun. I also don't usually use double battle only moves. Especially since I don't team build for multiplayer. It feels especially useless. If you want a double battle Pokemon, you put them aside and you wait until you're actually ready to do multiplayer. Alright, well, I guess we're going with Manectric. You gotta pronounce it like that, because it's manly. Alright, Ice. Regice is amusing. That's a very mom says it's my turn to use the Xbox design right there. It's the exact kind of pose I think of. The line I think of for that pose, rather. So yeah, Spheal wins this one easily. Good job, little guy. Fighting. There are actually a pretty good number of fighting Pokemon. I think I'm gonna go with Makuhita. Even though the little head skin ribbon makes me vaguely uncomfortable. I don't like that that is a part of your body, but... in that case, I don't really have any problem with Hariyama's design. Kind of just unpeels and then he's ready to fight, and it's not as bad to look at. The Meditate line is pretty good, though. That's right, you're Medicham. Never really used you, though. Let's see, Poison... were there any other grass types I liked? Because, yeah, you're also part Poison type, and you might be my favorite there. You know what? I do actually kind of like Gulpin. Gulpin's another funny-looking dude. I just like him. Ground, we've already got you represented. Got you represented. In that case, I might go Trap Inch. Did I use Trap Inch? I feel like I've used Flagon at some points. I do like the design of Trap Inch, so I'm gonna go Trap Inch. I'm trying to remember, though, if I've actually used one before. Can't quite remember. Alright, flying type. Altaria's pretty good, but... The problem is, I feel like Altaria's my favorite dragon. But also, look at Shelgon. I love that you go from Bagon to Shelgon to Salamence. That's very funny. Just like, okay, you've got this little dragon. Okay, now you're just a shell? You're like if Kakuna squared up and wanted a fight. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go you for dragon type, because you're just funny to me. And Altaria. Although, in fairness, I do like Swablu's design as well. But I think I'm gonna keep it as Altaria. Psychic, oh, it's gonna be Gardevoir, easy, right? I've never actually used Metagross, but Metagross is terrifying. Remember correctly, it was Metagross specifically that I very nearly party wiped too when I played Omega Ruby. Omega Ruby is a game I found to be, mostly pretty easy. It's the one game where I've actually kind of agreed with the experience share being a little too broken. I don't think they designed super well around it. And then you get to the final boss, and he will stomp you if you're not ready. I did not have trouble with the rest of the game. And then Steven Stone said, haha, wow. Too bad. That's called hubris, buddy. And then he just grabbed me and put me in the ground. And I only barely managed to stall him out and win. Might have been one of his other Pokemon I only barely beat, but either way, Metagross is terrifying. Admittedly, I do like Deoxys, though. I like Deoxys for just being a weird alien. Like, that kind of rules. I feel like I've watched one of the Deoxys movies at one point. Not like directly, but either because somebody was doing commentary over it or I happened to catch it. I've seen some of a Deoxys, and it's pretty neat. I don't know if now is the age to particularly get into the Pokemon anime, but, I don't think I'd mind seeing a Deoxys a little more. Never really got to see much of it during the games. And then there's Spoink. Everybody knows Spoink, and everybody pities Spoink because if Spoink stops bouncing, it dies. Thankfully, there's Grumpig, who I don't think needs that. I don't recall ever reading a Pokedex about it, like, needing to jumpstart its heart or whatever. Anyway, yeah, it's easily Gardevoir. I mean, come on. Classic design. Very elegant. Shedinja wins this one. I use a Shedinja a little bit. Not too much, but, you kinda have to, right? Oops, slam the keyboard. You kinda have to at some point in your life, just because it's the gimmick Pokemon where, unless you have something it's weak to, you just can't kill it. It will outlast you. So yeah, because it's such a weird one, I definitely have an appreciation for it. Hard to find because you do need an open slot when its prior thing evolves. Because otherwise, all you get is a Ninjask. But if you have the open slot, this guy's skin just falls off and becomes this. It's just a very fun concept. You know, I'm actually gonna go Aggron. I used Aggron. It's a fun steel type. Hard to kill. I appreciate it a lot. I've not really used that many steel types in the past. Actually, should it go in here? No, I think I like Mawile, so I'll keep Aggron under rock for now. Also, yeah, I was about to say, Regirock also looks like he says that it's his turn to play the Xbox. You look like you're laying in wait for the Xbox. You're not actively asking the questions. So Registeel is the schemer amongst them. Anyway, oh, Sableye, easy. Love Sableye. He's good. Just a solid guy who's also hard to kill, much like Shedinja. Slightly easier to kill nowadays because of Fairy type, but kinda ruthless back in the day. Dark type. Ooh, that's actually pretty tough. There's not a lot of Pokemon here, but honestly, this is a pretty tough one. Poochyena is actually like a really fun early game kind of Pokemon to use. I don't often use the early game Pokemon, but yeah, Poochyena, Mightyena, pretty good pair. But then you also have Carvana, which is also pretty vicious. You got Absol, Absol's pretty good. Already voted for Sableye, so I'm not putting another vote in, but... I'm gonna say... Because I'm actually inclined to use them, I'll go Mightyena. And then Steel... Yeah, I like Mawile. They just look neat. Cool design. Okay, that's right. Also is later Fairy type, which is also unusual. Alright, anything here? No, this is, other than Purple Kecleon, which I don't remember what that's from. These are all later things. As for Legendary, despite the fact that these guys are the box art ones, this is actually a really good Legendary roster. As much as I tease them, I do like the Regice series. They're just a bunch of weird golems, and I think that's neat. But I think it's gotta go to Deoxys. Deoxys is just really cool. Just a weird, shape-changing alien. Alright, is it gonna be Gardevoir? I think it's gonna be Gardevoir. Okay, I've got 10 minutes. Let's go for it. I don't want to be too late for starting a new thing, but I think I can get through Gen 4 without too much issue. Oh god, am I gonna go with Lopunny? You saw nothing. Oh god. You know, I just had a conversation about Gen 4's lack of fire Pokemon. There are some other ones from previous gens, but yeah, I already said I don't like the Magmar line. Yeah, you go here. Oop, that's, I want to go starter. Piplup. Because I do like Piplup. But then that begs the question, who do I go for water type? I really don't like Bidoof's evolved form. I don't like Bibarel that much. Guess Weasel looks okay. I guess it's Weasel. Technically it's Piplup, but Piplup's favorite starter, so I'll give Weasel a shot. But you... Oh, right, you don't get your, Yeah, there we... Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking Cottony, that's right. Alright, Oh, you know what? Oh god, is it gonna be another Eevee? I've never really used Leafeon, but Leafeon's an okay design, and I'm not really feeling a lot of these. I actually kind of do like Shaman. Let me just remind myself, what's under legendaries? Actually, you know what? I think there's enough competition there that I'll go over here and yeah, Shaman's neat. They're pretty. I like them. Wait, what are you? Oh, that's right, spiky-eared Pichu. It's a specific thing. Ukulele Pichu. Yeah, I'm gonna go Shinx. This is actually kind of easy because I'm looking at these and going, man, there's not a lot to choose. There's Frostlass, which I do like, but also Glaceon's here. Another one I haven't used a lot, but the design's very pretty, so Glaceon. Fighting, I mean, it's Lucario. Gallade's also here he is. Gallade's also neat, but it's Lucario. Kind of a very iconic Pokemon. Oof. I mean, Croagunk's okay, but it's never really been my favorites. I guess we'll do Roserade. Yeah, we'll just go for, Roserade. We've got both of them here. Let's see. Which one are you again? Hippopotas. Alright, yeah, I kinda like Gibble. Gibble's adorable. I know, Garchomp. Also very iconic Pokemon, which strikes fear into everybody's hearts. But I just think Gibble's cuter, so going with that. Let's see. Well, I could go for Vespiquen. I kind of like this line. I've not really used them much, but they're an okay design. And then there's Drifloon, who kidnaps children, which, you know, is a little problematic, so don't think I'll be going for Drifloon. What's under Bug, though? You're the funny one that makes the alarm sounds. But I'm gonna go for Vespiquen and Bug. I mean, Togekiss is a new final evolution, but sure. Togetic and Togekiss can both be on here. I like that line well enough. Psychic. Oof, yeah, none of these are super inspiring. Glade's okay, but Bronzong's okay. Yeah, the fossil Pokemon are okay. There's Rhyperior. Sure is there. Bonsly, I guess. I've never really been one for Pseudo-Udo either, but of all these rock types, Bonsly is the most okay out of all of them. Mismagius is good. Oh man, I already chose Glaceon for Ice. I think this might be a situation where I apologize to Frostlass. You're pretty good. I would like you to be on here, but both of your typings are kind of one-up by other things that I like more, even though they're also from previous things. This is just Misdreavus' evolution, so like... It's another one where you kind of have multiple representations, but not as much as Eevee. There's so many Eevees on this chart. It's like I like Eevee or something. Alright, what are you? Primal Dialga. Okay, so you're that. What mode do I have this on? Standard? Okay. If I remember correctly, if I set it to strict, this probably wouldn't be on here. Anyway, I'm gonna go for regular Dialga. Look. Maybe it's because of JoJo, but Time Stop is a pretty cool power, so like, I do appreciate the Time Stop Dragon. It's pretty rad. Oof. Oh boy. Honchkro's okay. Weevil's alright. Dakara's alright. I don't know, I kind of prefer Sneasel. I might go with Honchkrow just cause, like, I kind of like Murkrow and Honchkrow. They're okay. Steel. This is so many Pokemon that I've already chosen for other categories. I guess you can go in there, Magnezone. I like it when he shouts his name in the anime. Just he's very aggressive, and that's funny. Alright, yeah, none of you are in this game, so... Since you're all from later things, I'm not gonna bother. Legend! I've already chosen so many legends. Yeah, Shaman's already on here. Dialga's already on here. Regigigas isn't on here. And it is once again his turn to play the Xbox. I guess I'll go with God. Let's go for Arceus. 'Cause why not? Alright, well then, boy, I feel like most of these I don't feel super strongly about, so I'm just gonna go for Lucario. Lucario is kind of a classic. He got into Smash Brothers, that's pretty impressive. I'm sure there are other Pokemon, but, you know, he was fairly new at the time he was added. He's kind of a new guy, so it's neat that, he got in. They were actually kind of pushing Lucario a lot around that time. I believe he had his own special, possibly with a mystery about Mew, or something like that, but yeah, I guess out of all of these, I feel the strongest about Lucario. Yeah. Alright, well, you know, despite not knowing much about Gen 9, I feel like, so far, Gen 4 is the list I look at and go, oof. I don't know. I don't dislike the Pokemon that are on here, but yeah, this is one of those where the choices were actually pretty easy. Because there's not really a huge pool to choose from. And I don't like choosing the legendaries outside of the legendary category. Because, you know, I feel like giving other Pokemon a shot, but like... Look at this, I don't really have much to choose... I mean, I guess I could have, No, I think Giratina's okay, so I don't know if I'd want to put you in the Dragon category. But yeah, just look Gen 4 and think, yeah, I don't know. Not a lot of strong hitters to me, but... Right, I think that'll do it for today's look through of the Pokemon. Feel like there's probably a better way to phrase that. Yeah, I was looking through these to think, do I want to do any of these at the moment? Not really. Think we are still a ways away from doing these, and obviously this will be the thing I do last, and Man, I am probably going to take a hot minute to do that. Ah, well. Anyway, you can join me again for this next week's. That'll be Saturday, 8:30 to 9, where if I have a similar trajectory, I can do Gen 5 and 6. And then 7 and 8, and then the favorites. That'll take me so long. But regardless, I'm gonna stop streaming for a moment, and when we return, it'll be time for Dungeon Gals. So, yeah, see you in a sec.